So certainly thank you, Molly. Thank you to the Concord team, and most especially thank you, Kara, for hosting us today. We're so thrilled to bring our team together from the Healey-Driscoll Administration and our partners as we look to continue to support the disability workforce and community at large. We know there's so much work that we have to do when we think about tackling workforce issues. This was a priority day one coming in when Governor Healey and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll first rolled up their sleeves, and now we are almost 18 months into this work. And it's really important that as we continue to do this, we take a collaborative approach. I know for me to do my job and do my job well, it means partnering with organizations like so many that are represented here today, because you're closest to the people that you're serving. You are the experts in ensuring successful outcomes for both attracting people who are untapped and making them the tapped talent that we can have in our workforce. And that's so incredibly important, and it's really the backbone, that sense of collaboration is at the backbone of our workforce agenda. We know in order for us to really drive a strong workforce here in Massachusetts and to really drive that competitive spirit that the governor often speaks about, we have to look to our people. And it's all of our people that we want to make sure have opportunities within our workforce today as well as in the future. And this is also reflected in a recently released workforce agenda. Many in the room may be familiar with the acronym WIOA, our Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. Governor Healey and I, just about a month ago, filed that with the U.S. Department of Labor, certainly in partnership with Commissioner Wolf and so many other team members that are behind the scenes working on this. But then also reflecting our workforce agenda as we move forward. So it's not just this 700-page document that goes to the U.S. Department of Labor, but also a more concise version that really reflects our playbook on how we are going to invest in our workforce moving forward, and making sure that it's an active body of work that is not just sitting on the shelf, but actually felt in rooms like this here in Boston and in communities across the state. And I'll just highlight a few of the areas within our workforce agenda because I think it dovetails nicely with the announcement that you're all patiently waiting to hear. First, we're focusing on attracting and retaining talent in Massachusetts. And in order for us to reduce barriers to employment, to get more people into the workforce and retain that workforce, we have to really think about the infrastructure that allows for people to come back into a job or into job training. Think childcare, transportation, housing stability. Second, we're focusing on developing our talent, especially targeting populations often underserved and left on the sidelines. And we need to make sure that there's strategic and intentional strategies that we will implement as a team to ensure more pathways to career and building the talent pipeline that we know is needed, especially as we look at different populations, including individuals with disabilities. We have to do so not only in partnership with training providers, with academia, but also with industry, making sure that we're closing the skills gap for this talent that we're developing in a way that meets the needs for employers and in a way that will help our individuals become competitive within our workforce. Third, this is also an opportunity for Massachusetts as an employer to lead by example. We have 40,000 employees, and we want to make sure that we continue to retain that talent, and we think in the future on how we can attract more talent. But we can lead by example in doing this as well. And we also know that we have some areas where we can catch up and follow what has been working well with others, especially as we look to attract diverse talent that we know we want to bring into our workforce. Fourth, and certainly not least, we have to make sure that we're delivering on these strategies in a way that is kind of anchored by a really strong infrastructure. So think about how do we actually come together. It's rooms like this, certainly with training providers and thought leaders like JVS, our mass hire network of regional workforce boards and career centers, and really creating that ecosystem at infrastructure so that we're connecting the dots, we're breaking down silos in government, but also in communities so that we can work collaboratively together. So as I said, this is news, this workforce agenda is not sitting on just the shelf. We're trying to implement this and make it happen, which is why I am here today, because we are with another opportunity to demonstrate how we are making our workforce agenda a reality right here in Massachusetts. Which is why I'm thrilled to announce that the Healey-Driscoll Administration is awarding $900,000 in employment program for young adults with disabilities. This is a grant program that is going to impact 9 organizations across Massachusetts to provide job training, employment placement, and post-placement opportunities for 275 young adults with disabilities and providing that employment pathway. Woo! To celebrate this when going to one of our partnering organizations, so certainly recognizing JVS Boston, one of our grant partners, who will be training 20 young adults with disabilities throughout the greater Boston area, and I'm sure Kara will speak more to this in her remarks. Also today, bringing all things kind of under one umbrella, we're really excited to weave in another key element as we think about how we evaluate opportunities for individuals with disabilities here in Massachusetts. The Department of Economic Research, as part of our Executive Office of Labor and Workforce Development, will be releasing today a new People with Disability Equity Dashboard. And I'm thrilled to have Lisa Hemmerly from the team, our Director of the Department of Economic Research, who will speak more in detail about this. But it builds on bringing together data, not just having it as a resource to analyze, but really help to inform policy as we drive greater equity within our workforce. And so this is going to be a huge resource as we look to continue to move the needle. And so thank you, Lisa. I see Eric and Mark as well as other team members here. So thank you for standing up this important work, and I'm sure we'll hear more as you speak in a few minutes. People with disabilities face persistent employment disparities, and I know each of you see this in the work that you do day in and day out. But we know that we have to make sure that we are intentional as we look to drive more opportunities and create more positive trends towards opportunities. And so today's announcement, being able to celebrate 9 different organizations working directly with our future talent, our young people that would be part of our workforce, is so critically important. Individuals with disabilities represent a vital part of our talent pool that we want to make sure we accelerate, that we tap, that we create as whole opportunities as we look to all industries here in Massachusetts. We are such an innovative, creative hub. We want to make sure that we're linking job opportunities for everybody here in all regions of the state, and it takes that collaboration with partners we're celebrating today to make that a reality. So thank you so much for coming here to help celebrate this. We look forward to being able to go out to the different grantees and help celebrate the work you're doing in your respective communities, and certainly look forward to celebrating not only the job training, but the job outcomes that will come thanks to investments like today. Thank you.